can survive. And we are importing these clerics. We are importing them so they can turn their people against our system of government, against democracy, which they are preaching as evil to our people right here in the West. We are importing the same dynamic that brought Arab governmental tyranny. America supports Arab dictators, they say. Oh, look at America, it's interfering in our political system. If it wasn't for America, we wouldn't have all these dictators. What a lie. But when America took out Saddam Hussein, who gassed his own people and set thousands of oil fields on fire, they say, why are you taking out our leaders? Why are you interfering in our political system? The West is damned if they do, and they are doomed if they don't. Every time we attempt to extend our compassion to Muslim nations, we reject it. Don't interfere. This is a proud culture. The Muslim culture, the Arab culture, it's based on pride and shame. Very sensitive to pride, especially. And receiving help from infidels, receiving help from non-Muslims, brings them shame, even if we ask for it. They hate us for helping feed the hungry in Somalia. They hate us for trying to save the slaughter in Sudan, for saving Kuwait from Saddam, and for the presence our infidel feet in their country, on their soil. The concept of negus, which is filth, is a name they give to non-Muslims. And that's why when they called, Saudi Arabia called, come, save us from Saddam. American soldiers went and died because we wanted to help them. What did we get for that? Nothing. Your filthy feet are on our land. You are negus, and you should not be on our land. They hate us for caring about the people in Darfur. This is a culture that's very different from our culture. Pluralism, diversity, respect for the rights of the minorities, and love your enemy are Western values, not Muslim values. Minorities are by law finished over there. If we insist on imposing strict Geneva Convention standards, if the West keeps insisting on using a strict Geneva Convention standards with terrorists who strap their children with explosives to kill us, we will lose the war on terror. We are not fighting an army against army. We are fighting an enemy who knows they will lose in a conventional war with us. No Muslim nation took responsibility for 9/11, but many celebrated in Arab streets. If the West expects more of us, more women like us and men to speak out, you also must face the challenge. The West must unite. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, Conservative. When the terrorists are going to come and blow us up, they're not going to ask us, which party are you from? Western media must shine the light of truth and ask all the politically incorrect questions. And we Arabs and Muslims owe the world honest answers and a sincere apology to the victims of terror. I trust that Western culture will rise up to this challenge. Thank you very much.
We're going to go to Q&A in just a moment. I want to remind everybody that Bridget Gabriel will be having a book signing outside after. We talked a lot about what our government has done in the past few months, how it's changed the direction of this country, how it's offered a bold vision. We talked about Kandahar and Canadians don't cut and run. We talked about the Prime Minister stand on Hamas and Hezbollah. But since Donnie's president of Arabs for Israel, since she brought up Israel, it's important to remind everybody to remember. Stephen Harper at the Francophonie objected to a resolution that would have expressed sympathy only for Lebanon. He didn't just demonstrate a morality. Not because it's the Jewish state. Stephen Harper is not a moral or a social conservative. He did it because it was right. He didn't do it for the Jewish state. He did it because it's a free state that happens to have a Jewish majority, and it's the frontline state in the family of free nations. He's raising an important challenge to us. He showed one other thing. As we sit here and we talk about values, he showed us values, but he showed us that our response as a country is not a middle power. He showed us that we can stand up to the big boys, the 60 million and 80 million populated countries, the France and Egypt, and you know what? We win. And we've got clout. Because every time you stand up from 1,000 centers from wherever you may be and write a letter and condemn hypocrisy and don't read your paper over breakfast and say, well, this is real crap, but I'm not going to do anything. You're going to pick up a phone. You're not even going to write a letter. You're going to pick up a phone to the owners of the newspapers. Every time you do that, from 1,000 centers of energy and daring, you will build up a wave that is so mighty that it will tear down any walls of oppression and resistance. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your patience through all the speakers. I thank our speakers, and if anyone has any questions, there are 2 microphones set up in the middle of the floor. Yes, sir.
First of all, I would like to...
Just speak into the microphone.
Okay. I would like to express, I have chills. There's so much censorship in this country, I feel like crying. This is so refreshing to hear this.
We censor ourselves. What's your name?
My name is Mark Lebouy, and I will name my name.
Pleasant.
A couple of months ago, I was there was a conference. There were Coptics. There was Orthodox religious.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, sorry. They were Orthodox religious people. And the name of the conference, and there was a famous university professor that was there for the Middle East opinion. And the name of the conference was, Why is the West Attacking Islam? Why, or I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty true. Why is the West, or how is the West attacking Islam? Now, the person that gave the speech for about 20 minutes gave a whole presentation about, it could have been 20 years ago when we were very open about multiculturalism and wanted to be good or whatever, but the speech was just like 20 years ago, just wrapped for today. Nobody asked a decent question. Nobody asked a decent question. What about Asia? What about India? How many people are getting beheaded right now in Thailand? Nobody spoke about this. So I just want to bring up something. It's not so much a question, but there's something terribly, 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 terribly wrong. One of them is, right after the cartoon incident, at the UNESCO, the IOC, with all their members, made pressure so that the UNESCO would change the rules on how to receive freedom of speech and respect for religious sacredness. From there on, an escalation or degradation of all what we stand for. There's starting to be the UN Parliament. Everybody started to defend the undefendable, to defend the right to censorship.
Tolerate the intolerable.
Marc,
je voudrais remercier infiniment Mélia et Nidine et merci beaucoup. Si vous pouvez, if you could, je sais qu'il y a beaucoup de sentiments dans nos chambres, beaucoup de commentaires, mais si vous pouvez, just pose it in the form of a question because we are friends.